If you knew my story, you'd have a hard time believing me. You'd think I was lying. Joy and sorrow never last. I'll die trying not to live in the past. If you knew my story, my heaven and my hell, if you knew my story, you'd have a good story to tell. I left my clothes on that cold river rock, my cares and my woes rolled up in my socks. I lay down in that mountain stream, the icy water rush over me. If you knew my story, my heaven and my hell, if you knew my story, you'd have a good story to tell. Weight, I know I was born to carry more than I can hold. Even though I stumble, even though I fall, you'll never see me crumble, you'll never see me crawl. If you knew my story, through the water from my well, if you knew my story, you'd have a good story to tell.
Have a good story to tell.
Well, look how you've grown.
Daddy.
So good to see you, son. You in the war all by yourself?
I had a little help.
Well, I salute you.
Then you salute us all.
Hi, Billy.
Look who I'm visiting with.
Oh, Margo, is that you? You've gone every which way.
I was just delivering a book your daddy ordered.
Now, Daddy, have you been reading again?
I have, son.
Daddy, I warned you about reading. That could make you smart.
I know. Call the hillbilly police.
Mr. Caine, Billy's been sending me his stories overseas, and I've got a stack of them all edited.
And I got published in Stars and Stripes.
Billy!
Did you get my latest?
I sure did. You can come by the bookstore and pick it up.
Well, what'd you think?
You don't have to know everything all at once.
Margo, that is so you. Mama inside? Are you making her plow again, Daddy?
Billy, I gotta get back.
What's gotten into her? And where's Mama? Mama! What is it, Daddy?
No way to rat you, son. We had a visitor. while you were away. Unwelcome as he was, he came on in one day. He sat down quietly at your mother's side. She left with him sometime in the night. She's gone. You know how much she loved you, son. She had no fear of death. She went on peacefully. She just closed her eyes and drifted off to sleep. She's gone. She's gone. You know how much she loved you, son. Let's walk on over there and lay a rose upon her grave. Why don't you pick a flower and bud the rose, son? That was her favorite. She is under the walnut tree.
You bought her a gravestone angel.
Well, there was this lovely one in the back of Julia Wolf's garage. She made me a nice deal on it. That's courtesy.
It's beautiful.
The owls are speaking tonight. I'll go hear what they have to say.
Mama, when I was in mud up to my knees, I thought it'd be you mourning me. Not this way round. I'm sorry Daddy put an angel over your grave. You used to make fun of people for doing that. You said you'd rather let your deeds speak for your time on earth. Mama, thank you for the way you raised me. The way you spoke. Your parlance around the house made me a curious lover of words. And you always pointed me towards the writers who use them well. Remember when you had me copy stories out of the Asheville Southern Journal? Just so I'd know what it'd feel like to write well. I made it back home, like you always said I would. I never thought homecoming could be so cruel. You are my mama, and I place my hand here to touch you, now and forever. She's gone. She's gone. You know how much she loved you, son.
Here it is, Max. Since when did you become such an avid reader?
Since you started working at the bookstore. When you stopped working at that soda shop, I lost 3 pounds. Margo, would you like to go to the movies sometime?
I don't want you to spend all your money on me.
Will it be cheaper than buying all these books?
Hi, Billy.
Margo, sorry, it took me a while to make it in.
I thought it might. How are things with Daddy?
He's doing better. It's strange, we both swear we can hear her call out to us sometimes.
And how are you doing?
Well, I started writing again, and that brings me comfort. A thesaurus. Are you writing now?
No, Max just returned it. He thought it was a book about dinosaurs. Oh, and Billy, I read the story you sent me.
I was wondering about that. What'd you think?
Well, it started out great. But
Then it got better and better.
It did?
Billy, you've grown up. And so has your writing. Now, I caught a few typos and retyped it on heavy font. In fact, I retyped them all.
Thank you. Thank you. Margo, I've been thinking. What if I submitted some of these stories to the Asheville Southern Journal?
Oh, Billy, yes, you were always so tentative about it. What made you decide that?
I'm ready for my life to begin. I'm ready for it all to start. My heart's about to bust. Don't lead the way, I must follow my own bright star.
And we still got that special delivery stamp I've been saving. We sure do.
I'm not mailing them, Margo. I'm gonna hand carry them to Asheville and sleep like a dog on their doorstep till I get published.
Good luck, Billy.
Many a long cold night I huddled down in the dark. I made a vow, if I ever made it out, I'd follow my own bright star. Bright star, keep shining for me. Shine on and see me through. Bright star, keep shining for me. And one day I'll shine for you.
For what it's worth, I'll miss you.
You never know what life will bring, only what you bring to life. Hopes and dreams and fine imaginings, they happen in their own good time. I've seen a weak man fight, I've seen a strong man cry. I have learned the brightest day can turn into the darkest night. Bright star, keep shining for me. Shine on and see me through. Bright star, keep shining for me. And one day I'll shine for you. There's always a song to sing, a melody in the dark. Lifts my spirits every time I hear it, comforts my aching heart. Bright star, bright day, keep shining for me and see me through. Keep shining for me, I'm on my way. Bright star, keep shining for me. Shine on and see me through. Bright star, keep shining for me. And one day I'll shine for you. Bright star, keep shining for me. Shine on and see me through. Bright star, keep shining for me. And one day I'll shine for you. Hello, is this the Asheville Southern Journal?
Good question, because this sign is often wrong.
Don't mind Daryl.
If someone wanted to submit some stories to your magazine,
Let me hand them to the nice man.
And then wave them goodbye.
why wave them goodbye?
Because our editor, Miss Alice Murphy, is one of the keenest editors in North America. The New Yorker magazine sent people down here to try and hire her away.
But she wants to stay right here in North Carolina.
Well, that's good.
Not for little tadpoles like you.
She once made Ernest Hemingway cry. He lay right there, banged his fist on the floor, and sobbed.
What?
He used a comma to join two independent clauses.
Look, I came all the way from Hayes Creek, and I gotta get back.
Aren't we busy?
Can I pick up my stories tomorrow?
Look, you think we're going to read them by tomorrow, if at all?
I'm sorry, but we don't even read young writers anymore without a whopping letter of recommendation.
Now, where did that door go? Oh, look,
Thomas
there it
Wolfe
is.
read them.
Thomas Wolfe?
He read them and wrote me back saying I had talent. I sent them to him last year.
You can leave your stories here. I'm a great admirer of Thomas Wolfe.
Well, thank you. I will tell him you said that. You must be Miss Murphy.
I don't have to be, but I am.
Well, then I'll wait to hear from you. I'm William Caine.
I'm writing your name down. William.
Mr. Ames, hand me those stories. I'm going to read them.
Why?
Because he's a liar, and liars sometimes make very good storytellers. Now, how about those new submissions?
We have several. This one from Carl Samber.
Oh, we should certainly take a look at that.
Tennessee Williams.
Very promising new writer, yes.
And another one from Joseph Algonquin.
Another one. He is always terrible.
Miss Murphy, it's time you knew. Joseph Algonquin is my pen name.
Oh, well, maybe you've improved. I'll take a look.
Don't bother.
Miss Murphy, there's a dance at the Shining Penny tonight. And?
Those officers returning home keep asking about you.
When a female walks in that place, there's not a head that doesn't swivel. No, tonight I want to cozy up to some unnecessary adverbs and cut their heads off.
Miss Murphy, I've heard stories about you. You weren't always such a wallflower.
No, not always.
The whole world's rejoicing with the war being over.
And you should get out and celebrate too. Come with us, just this once. Way back in the day, I would have gone with you. Way back in the day, you could not have kept me away. I was the life of the party. I was happy and carefree, dancing on the floor with everybody. He was next to me. We'd sing and we'd sway to every song together. Way back in the day, I could not wait to get away. Moonlight music from across the river, calling, playing through the night. I would run barefoot through the sounds of summer to be with everyone. Way back in the day, you never would have had to ask me. Way back in the day, I'd have been the first one to say, come on. Now that's a sight. Mayor's son with his sleeves rolled up, preparing an icebox.
Well, if it isn't the little Princess Zebulon. Tell me, Princess, what's the matter with fixing an icebox?
Jimmy Ray, an icebox has no moving parts. My granny could repair an icebox. It's ice and a box. I think you're just showing off your muscles.
Keep talking, Alice Murphy. I am curious how your mind works.
Okay. You remind me of Adonis. You know who Adonis is?
I sure do. He's a Greek god.
Well, you remind me of him. In fact, you remind me of the myth of Adonis when he repaired the icebox.
You ever think you might be too smart for this town?
All the time.
What makes you so sure?
I entered an essay contest in Raleigh. First prize was $5 and I won it.
What was it about?
I wrote about how there should be a rebirth of Southern writers all writing about the Southern way, and that's how we can make our voices known.
Don't know how a group of judges from Raleigh could turn that down.
They couldn't. I took that $5 and put it toward my college fund.
Well, how much do you have in your college fund now?
$5. You want a biscuit?
I would not mind having a biscuit.
Oh, your hands are dirty. You don't want to eat a dirty biscuit.
Well, I guess you'll have to feed it to me then.
Now, you and I were thinking the exact same thought.
You got a little wildcat about you, Alice Murphy.
What's that book?
Hey there. F. Scott Fitzgerald. He's a new writer.
I know who he is. Beautiful and Damned. Is that us, Jimmy Ray?
Well, damned if I know, but you're sure beautiful. I finished it. You can keep it if you want.
If my daddy sees the title, he'll kill me.
We'll read it under the covers.
So you're going to take to the couple's day dance?
I don't know yet.
Well, I'm standing right here in front of you.
That's not proper, you asking me.
Well, I read in a book that sometimes you got to plant an idea in a boy's head.
Well, that might be a pretty smart book. You're a young girl and you ought to know better than to be here. What would everybody think? Oh, mama, better back up slowly, make a quick getaway and hurry on home. Oh, mama, at the rate you're going, when you pop will get a shock and have to run man off. Well, hide in the shadows, fall out of trees, wait by your window, whisper, bless you when you sneeze. Someone will look at you just like this. Someone will ask you for a kiss. You're a smart girl, make a fool of somebody. I'm a smart guy, and I know that it won't be me.
We'll see.
Whoa, mama, take a second look before you set your sights on me. I'm a restless small town boy with a heart as wild as a big city. Someone will take your hand just like so. Someone will never want to let you go. Someone will put you on a pedestal. Someone will tell you you're incredible.
I'm a young girl and I want to go dancing. Want to dip and twirl with the handsomest boy in town. Somebody better comb their hair and put a clean shirt on, pick me up at 8. Somebody's gonna take me there, gonna have a lot of fun on our very first date. Someone will want for you to walk her home. Someone will want a little time alone. Someone will wait as long as it takes for you.
You're a sweet girl, wrap a man around your pinky. On your feet, girl, get going, cause it won't be me.
Somebody's gonna buzz around me like a fuzzy bumblebee.
Whoa, go slow, mama, you're pretty as a daisy. Smell like a rose, make a man crazy. But it won't be me.
I'm home.
Where you been? You should have been here helping in the kitchen. Where'd you go? No daughter of mine ought to worry me so. You're the black sheep, a little lost lamb. Should have raised you with a firmer hand. Black sheep, a little lost lamb.
All you ever do is reprimand. Shame on you. There ain't no limit to the trouble you brew.
Shame on me. You make a mockery of the family. You're the black sheep, a little lost lamb.
When you gonna love me just the way I am? I pray that you will
Why on earth have you been so hard-headed since the day of your birth?
Why in the world don't you do us all a favor, be a good little girl?
You're the black sheep, little lost lamb. Should have raised you with a firmer hand.
Black sheep,
Little lost lamb.
always up to your shenanigans.
Alice, you gotta start towing the line.
That's all I ever do around here is toe the line. You're always saying do right, do right, do right, do right for me. You're always saying step in line, better mind do what I do right for me. You're always saying do right, do right, do right, do right for me. And what's right for me is bad for the family.
I swear I'm gonna have to rein you in.
You're always saying do right, do right, do right, do right for me. You're always saying
Step in line,
better mind,
do or die, do right for me.
and what's right for me
It's bad for the family.
Alice, we need you to shell these peas. Why do I have to shell the peas, Mama?
The Lord gave us those peas, Alice.
Well, why do you have to put them in pods?
Don't you ever question the Lord.
I'm not questioning him. I'm just saying maybe some of my ideas are better.
Black sheep,
Little lost lamb,
should have raised you with a firmer hand. Black sheep,
Little lost lamb.
should have raised you with the back of my hand. It's bad for the family.
Jimmy Ray, you were supposed to be here a while ago. Thank you, ladies.
Sorry, Daddy, I was out fixing Aunt Idell's icebox.
Can you believe my son? I'm trying to hand over an empire to this boy, and he's out fixing an icebox. What's this?
Application for college. I've been thinking about it.
4 years away from home when everything you need to learn, I'm teaching you. Here within these walls, your grandfather taught me, and I teach you. That chain must not be broken.
I understand, Daddy, but I thought we'd discuss this.
Sanford, do I sense disinclination?
None of my business, Mayor.
There's a whole world outside of Zebulon, Daddy, and I want to get to know it.
Where are you getting this from? Where's that book you were reading?
I gave it away.
Good. Let the jazz age infect someone else.
Mayor, the Conklins.
The Conklins? And Charlotte, what about them?
Well, they've got a beautiful daughter, Ola.
Well, a daughter with resources.
Stanford, what exactly isn't your business?
The Conklins are a family with produce trucks that drive across this state, and we are the second largest purveyors of produce for 300 miles.
You want me to marry somebody for her trucks?
Now, that's an equation they don't teach in college.
Where is the romance in that?
Romance?
I have no comment.
No comment. What do you think that was?
Just have lunch with her.
I couldn't do it, Daddy. I know their daughter. She's a dumbbell.
Well, it doesn't have to be her. The Wilsons in Winston-Salem have a daughter and a very active horse farm.
Oh, I have met their daughter. She is indistinguishable from the horses.
Well, what about Naomi Weiss, the daughter of tobacco? And I hear she plays the banjo. All right, okay.
Daddy, I couldn't carry on a conversation with any of them.
Who said you have to carry on a conversation with them? You ever seen me carry on a conversation with your mother?
It's not necessary.
And that is a tragedy.
Son, the way it works is the business is handed down and we marry conveniently in order to live well. A man's gotta do what a man's gotta do when a man's gotta do what he's got to. A well-bred wife with a silver spoon and knife will butter your bread twice as good as you do. I remember when I was your age, that's when I was settling down. Your mother and I were engaged, so I opened up a bank account.
You can't expect the future to be just like the past. You haven't got a clue, sir. Please try to understand.
When I stood tall side by side with your grandpa, there was just nothing at all we couldn't do.
With all due respect, I observe and I object. There's no rush for me to step into your shoes.
You can't waste your time on foolish things when there's real work to be done. There won't be any stopping you and me when you do what I tell you, son. You'd have no idea what I do to protect this dynasty.
The road beyond the river leads right back to this house. I won't be gone forever. Just let me go now. You can't expect the future to be just like the past. You haven't got a clue, sir. Please try to understand.
I can't understand why you can't comprehend what to do. Why can't I get through to you?
Daryl and I read your stories.
Yes, I thought they were extraordinary.
Really? Extraordinary?
I'm sorry, I said that too fast. Extraordinary.
Don't mind Daryl. Can I get you a cup of coffee?
My nerves are jittery enough already.
Shot of vodka?
I don't drink.
Billy, if you want to be a writer, you have to drink and feel sorry for yourself. We'll meet you one night at the Shiny Penny.
Going.
Well, Mr. Caine, it's very rare that a young writer makes it past our gatekeeper, Mr. Ames. Your Thomas Wolfe letter certainly helped. He wrote you last year?
Yes. Overseas.
Oh.
Thomas, who's very kind to me.
Thomas Wolfe letters are extremely rare. Did you bring it? I'm dying to see it.
I sure did. I'm never far from it.
If I were you, I would protect this letter. It could become very valuable someday.
Thank you, ma'am.
It is indeed valuable already since Thomas Wolfe died 7 years ago.
I missed that.
Obviously.
Well, then you can imagine how difficult it was to get this letter then. Are you sure?
I'm as sure as he is. He's buried right here in Asheville.
Oh, Miss Murphy, I was just doing what I had to. I never would have made it through that door.
Clearly. Here are your stories back, Mr. Caine.
Did you read them at all, Miss Murphy?
Like I said, here are your stories back, except this one, which I'm buying from you for $10.
But I thought you said...
I am not publishing it, but I'm investing in you. You have a flair, Mr. Caine, not for the scourge of war, but for gentleness and tenderness, and also the well-timed lie. You write well.
You mean that, Miss Murphy?
I don't have time to hand out compliments I don't mean. You will write better when you find your voice. You must find a sweeping tale of pain and redemption in the people you know and the people you meet.
$10! I'm rich!
Margo.
Oh, hi, Max. What is it?
These things are always hard. It's time for me to move on.
From what?
Us. I hope you understand. It's not you, it's me.
She's got it ready! I nipped it in to fit your figure. Every young woman deserves a new dress.
Tomorrow I turn 21, and I've known Billy Caine since I was 6. It's time that he sees me in a new way, as the woman I am.
Good for you. Billy's back from Asheville today.
And he said he was coming over here with a surprise.
A present? Something he got there? There's a jewelry store in Asheville. Oh, Billy! I'm so happy for you!
Hello, Margo. Bookstore looks spick and span.
I just made room for a new magazine rack.
Well, that's appropriate.
Oh, how?
I got something for you.
You said you did. I was
It's
wondering.
my new address.
Oh.
In Asheville. I'm gonna live there and right there.
Are you sure that's the... $10 from the Asheville Southern Journal.
Not published yet, but...
Oh, Billy. That's so exciting. A real adventure.
I can still send you my story. Is that all right?
Of course. But you're going to need someone to cash that check.
You kidding? I'm gonna frame it.
If you frame it, you can't cash it.
Hello. And goodbye. Will you miss me?
Like I miss trouble.
Did you ever think you'd be selling a magazine with one of my stories in it?
Yes.
Margo, I could almost kiss you.
Fighting tears when you were over in the war. I fought him off before. I'll just stay on the lookout and I'll listen for the sound of your old 34 Ford coming down the road. Ooh, if it don't work out. Think about me.
on, Zebulon. It's couples day. Here we go now. Take your partner, slap the floor, and close the door. Pass right through and hesitate. Round the corner, circulate. Ah, couples day. Face your honey, nose to nose. Pass right through and stub your toes while the roosters crow and the birdies sing. Now take your sweetie and make a ring. Every other woman, every other man. Bow to your girl, bow to your man. Now you're home, so thank the band.
Anybody see you slip away?
Not a person. Anybody see you?
I don't care who sees me with you.
You don't care who sees you with anybody. I heard you had tea at the Magnolia House with Ola Conklin.
Daddy made me. He thinks it's good business.
Made you dance with her too?
Daddy thinks we're still living in the Old South.
Well, aren't we? This is Hicksville, Jimmy Ray, and we are the Hicks in the Ville if we don't get out. So what was she like?
Who?
Ola Conklin!
Well, she sneaked rum in her tea.
That's something to her credit.
Why are you favoring her? You should be jealous.
Not me. I gotta believe in myself, don't I?
Are you playing me like a fiddle, Alice Murphy?
I'm not playing.
Alice! Alice! Now where is that girl?
I think she went down by the river.
She sure is down by the river a lot. And she never brings a rotten reel.
I think she's landed a fish anyway.
Alice! Alice!
Oh, it's Daddy. It's getting dark. I gotta get back.
What could be better than holding you close to me like this?
I'll get in trouble if I stay out late again.
10 more minutes in my arms won't do any harm.
What could be better than holding you close to me? I can't imagine improving this moment at all.
If I asked you for a kiss,
how could I resist? If you said this was heaven, I would not disagree. It'd be better than holding you close to me like this. Since I turned 16, lightning strike me if I'm lying. You're all that I need. Let me stay here forever. I don't want to go home.
stuff in malady that we see here sometimes it affects young women. You're about 11 weeks pregnant.
Oh, Lord.
It's not the Lord that did it. That only happened once that I know of. You been running around, Alice Murphy?
I don't call it running around. Love is not running around.
Does he love you?
I think he does.
Alice, when you tell him about this, he'll know.
Dr. Norquist, Zebulon has 1,000 eyes and a single tiny mind. How can trouble and happiness walk hand in hand?
They sometimes do.
What should I do now?
Come back in several weeks. I can handle this on the count for a while. And don't worry, you can trust me with this news.
Tell me you don't love her.
What is it, Daddy?
Jimmy Ray, are you the father of Alice Murphy's child?
It's conceivable.
Jimmy Ray, sometimes you are too eloquent.
She's gonna have a baby?
It appears she is.
I need to go see her.
And what?
And tell her I love her.
Now, you don't mean that. Now, might feel like you do, but you're young, Jimmy Ray.
I know those feelings, Daddy. Those misleading ones. I've felt them before, but Alice, I see her, and it's different. She has special qualities.
Special qualities? Those special qualities exist in your imagination. Now, the last thing we need is you dragging around a callow bride and child everywhere we do business. Now, you let me take care of this.
Daddy, I will handle this myself. It is my right and my responsibility. Blissful Eden.
My son was weak before you.
Have you ever stood up against society? Very few can withstand it.
There's a way to undo these things.
Undo?
Oh, now that's a crime upon a crime.
This baby would destroy Jimmy Ray's career. I thought you loved my son.
I do.
North Carolina doesn't allow this couples.
You don't want to go to a home for wayward girls. They're like prisons.
I know a place, several hours out of town. A cabin in the woods. We can go and figure out what you want to do. I've done it for others.
Sounds to me like you're being offered a sanctuary.
Alice, Jimmy Ray will ask you to marry him, but you must say no. He is still a boy, and if you wait just a year, he'll be one of the leaders of Zebulon and eventually all of North Carolina.
If this were known, there are people who wouldn't do business with him.
You wouldn't do that to Jimmy Ray now, would you?
Of course I wouldn't. Of course.
Then you must wait.
Wait, Alice Murphy. Wait.
Go to the cabin in the woods.
I'm gonna you a sweater and dress you up so fine, and we'll always be together. I'll keep your hand in mine. If you're like your daddy, handsome, strong, and true. If you're like your daddy, all the girls will be chasing you. My baby, I can't wait to see you. Jimmy Ray.
Look at you. You look like you're standing in a moonbeam.
That's the way I feel.
I want to make things right. Marry me. Will you marry me, Alice Murphy?
Yes, yes. Oh, but we can't right now. Not right away.
Why not?
We need some time. People in this town always looking at us sideways.
I don't care about that.
There's so many reasons. Dr. Norquist offered a cabin just for a short while where I won't be seen. It's the only thing that makes sense right now.
Why are you giving me trouble, Alice?
Don't you know I'm always going to give you trouble?
What is it?
Oh, Jimmy Ray, it felt like a butterfly feel.
I can't wait to meet you and shake your little hand. If you're like your mama, you'll make me a happy man. I'm gonna make you a promise to love you for all time. I'm gonna make you a promise to keep your hand in mine. My baby, I can't wait to see you. My baby, I can't wait to see you.
Mrs. Murphy asked me to meet her here. Am I being sent home? It's been 12 weeks and I haven't published anything.
She's on her way.
That sounded scary.
Daryl can make happy birthday sound scary. Show him, Daryl.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Mr. Caine, your latest submission's a bit of a mess. What's going on?
I'm sorry, Miss Murphy. I'd sent it to Margo and I hadn't gotten it back yet, so I just turned it in. Frankly, I'm getting a little discouraged.
Don't get discouraged. Work on it with Daryl. He's a fine editor.
Why'd my mouth just go dry? How about if I work with Lucy?
No, I want to keep you out of harm's way.
Miss Murphy, what do you think of it?
What do I think of it?
Yes.
Well, first, you need to cut out about 300 words.
300? Which 300?
The superfluous ones. You look shocked.
I always thought it was pronounced superfluous.
You need to open with your second paragraph, not your first. The action begins here.
Then what do I do with the first paragraph?
Turn it into a lullaby because it put me to sleep. Look.
Anything else?
You have to cut the word twixt.
Wait, what's wrong with twixt? You don't like twixt?
Use between.
Why?
Because a man wrote this, not Tinkerbell. And this second to last paragraph should be cut.
What? I cried when I wrote that.
Clearly, it's purple as a baboon's butt.
Miss Murphy!
It's true! And then there's this last sentence. It flows nicely, but I'm curious.
About?
Now why? Why, Mr. Caine, would you end your essay with a word 99% of our readers are going to have to look up? ... The longing of the human heart and its search for propinquity.
See, I did that on purpose, Miss Murphy.
Why?
It's the only $5 word in the whole piece. Because of it, I get the impact of the ending twice. The reader lands on a striking word with an elegant cadence, propinquity. Then, the reader goes to the dictionary, the longing for the human heart, and its search for closeness.
I'll tell you what. You can sway Daryl, you can sway me.
So then there's hope.
Let me put it this way. No one has ever swayed Daryl.
Bright star, keep shining for me. Shine on and see me through. And one day I'll shine for you.
I'm glad the shame is here in the woods and not in our house.
Quiet, you'll wake the baby with your ranting.
Thank God it's a boy. It was Eve who tempted Adam. Isn't that right, Alice?
Ah, Mr. Murphy! Ladies?
Came to see your grandson.
So, this is the child.
Isn't he beautiful?
Yes, fine looking.
We named him after his father. Isn't that right, little James? Where is Jimmy Ray? He's been here every day cooing over his boy.
He's on an errand in Durham.
On a Sunday? Stanford, you come to see the baby?
I love children.
Now, this terrible and tragic situation must be salvaged.
Fortunately, there is a solution.
And I am here to ensure that it is implemented. A legal and completely anonymous adoption.
What?
No, that is not a solution.
A legal and completely anonymous adoption. That is the only solution.
I have the papers drawn up here.
Are you aware of this?
Somewhat.
And I have spoken with Jimmy Ray, and he agrees.
He agrees.
He most certainly does.
I doubt that.
Didn't he, Stanford?
He sure did.
You are not of age, and only your father has to give consent, while the true father in this situation is decidedly unclear.
You watch the way you talk about our daughter.
Nobody is taking my baby.
You've got to be reasonable. Don't deny him a better way of life when he could grow up with pride. Folks will laugh and talk behind his back if you bring home a bastard child.
You can't take him. He's my baby. You can't take my baby boy. Daddy, don't you let him. Mama, don't let him. You can't take my baby boy.
Don't be foolish, why would you want to do this? Don't you want what's best for him?
I know people wealthy and agreeable who would like to take him in.
You can't take him. No, don't take him. You can't take my baby boy. Daddy, don't you let him. Mama, don't let him. You can't take my baby boy.
I will take the baby myself to the state agency in Raleigh.
They've already been contacted.
You can't.
I'll sign it.
No, you aren't.
I have to do what I think is right for our daughter.
No, Daddy, no!
Don't be selfish. Let him go and help him. Leave behind a world of shame. If he's ridiculed, they make fun of him at school. You'll only have yourselves to blame.
Please, don't take him. No, don't take him.
He's our only one.
You can't take my baby boy.
Alice!
Mama, please.
Alice!
Daddy, no. Daddy, no, please, Daddy.
Come here.
Daddy,
Come
no.
here. I'm doing you a favor. You can thank me later for making your life easier. Well, a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do, and a man's gotta do what he's got to. A man can't be fooled, can't be played, can't be schooled, can't be made to follow the rules they say he ought to. A man must provide for his family, pave the way for success. A man must provide for his family and ensure their happiness. I won't be duped, your young mother is confused to imagine she could use my son. I won't let anybody stand in the way of the plans that I've made, not anyone. A man must engage his backbone, stand up straight and strong. A man must engage his backbone and ride what has gone wrong. A man's gotta do what a man's gotta do, and a man's gotta do what he's got to. I won't let anybody stand in the way of the plans that I made, not even you. A man must protect his family, shield them from all pain. A man must protect his family and preserve his good name.
Boarding number 7 for Raleigh, Charlotte, and Chapel Hill.
You doing okay, Alice? First time away from home.
You always work too smart for this town, and Chapel Hill is a wonderful school. And you got a scholarship.
I came out of the blue. How's Daddy?
I know your father is a tender man. Right now he's searching scripture to try to justify what he did, but the Bible is not obliging. How's Jimmy Ray doing?
Mama, he's gonna meet me in Raleigh as soon as I get settled, and we're gonna find our baby.
That'll be a joyous day for all of us.
Lonely, broken, feeling lonely to my soul. I had it all here in my arms. I knew the joy of true love. I had it all, then it was gone. Now I'm all alone. So long, sweet embraces. So long, summertime. You got to fight, you got to say, I'm never gonna stay down. You got the night, you got the day. I got the old dark cloud. The sun is gonna shine again. 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 Long time I've been waiting, a long time, long enough. You got the power, you got the faith, you got the strength to go on. You got the light, you got the way. We're never all alone. The sun is gonna shine again. 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 Something tells me it'll be alright. Something tells me it's gonna be okay. Something tells me it'll be alright. Something tells me it's gonna be okay. Something tells me it'll be alright. Something tells me it's gonna be okay. Sun is gonna shine. The clouds are rolling, rolling on by. The clouds are rolling on by. Sun is gonna shine. The clouds are rolling, rolling on by. The clouds are rolling on by. The sun is gonna shine again. 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 The sun is gonna shine again.
You shouldn't be drinking.
Something's gotta calm my agitation.
You should be lying down. Here's your medicine.
Well, there's no doubt about it. I'm turning yellow as a sunflower. It's poison in my liver, they tell me. That's a swift thing.
Maybe not.
Suitcase? Where you headed?
Chapel Hill.
Overnight?
Maybe. Maybe more. Maybe a week or more.
Well, who's gonna take care of me?
I've arranged it.
You take care of me. The son takes care of the father the same way the father took care of the son.
I'll be back.
What's in Chapel Hill? Business, I hope?
What do you think?
That girl? That girl that almost ruined you? You stay away from her. Trouble once is Trouble always.
She and I are bonded. And we have a child out there somewhere. Maybe together we can find him and lay claim.
Find him?
Well, why not? You'd be surprised what can be accomplished.
You will never find that child.
What are you talking about?
You're still holding that suitcase, Jimmy. That's better. I took care of my son that night. Made everything right for you so that you could go into this world without encumbrance.
That adoption should have been my decision.
There was no adoption.
What are you talking about?
I cleansed you. As sure as I was dipping you in the baptismal water.
Is this the liquor talking?
Nobody knew the mail on the train that night. I got on in Ryan County. I was just a businessman passing through. Well, didn't have no papers in my briefcase. No, I had something better. Something better to relocate.
What did you have?
Had me a baby in that briefcase.
What did you do?
I walked to the back of the train, and just me, the creature, and the clatter of the tracks. And as I stepped out between the cars, as we passed over the river, I flung it high into the air.
I've heard of evil in the world, but you and I are flesh and blood. He was just a baby. He was my son.
I did it for you.
Our chance for happiness and all our hopes and dreams. I'll never get to see his face or know the boy he'd be. I can never go see her again, never look into her eyes again. I could never tell her why. How could she ever love me now? Ooh, heartache. How could she ever love me now? Heartbreaker, heartbreaker. Look at what you've done to me. You destroyed me. I can never go see her again. I could never hurt her with all this. I could never tell her lies. You may as well have murdered me when you cast him away that night. All I have to live for has died. I can never go see her again. Never hold her in my arms again. I could never break her heart.
I gave Miss Murphy one of my humor pieces.
Oh, that's great, Daryl. What'd she say?
She said she really liked it, and could I turn it into a humor piece? Well, look who walked in. Do you think he knows this place sells intoxicating beverages?
I say he's lonely. Let's find out. Well, boy meets girl. This calls for a slow gin fizz.
It does?
It does.
I'll have one.
Have you had one before?
I've seen photos.
So, you lonely since you've been here?
Oh, every evening I have a date with my typewriter.
Now that's not company. Here's what a real person feels like, in case you forgot.
That does feel real.
There's more where that came from.
Don't drink them both, Lucy.
Here you are. What do you think?
It's sweet and tart at the same time.
Just like Lucy.
It's called a slow gin fizz, but you don't have to drink it slow.
You are a modern woman, Lucy.
A bit.
You want to be a writer?
Even better. I want to be a censor.
A censor? Why a censor?
When I was 12, I gave my father a Raymond Chandler mystery novel. I was watching him read it when suddenly his face went the color of a rose. He set the book face down and called for my mother and took her to a separate part of the house and closed the door. I went over to see what he had just read, and right there, in the middle of the page, was the word brazier. I thought, this must never happen again. So, a couple nights a week, I'd take a manuscript home, fix myself a Manhattan, and search for hidden erotic content. Would you like to do that with me sometime?
Well,
what? You gotta grow back home?
well, no. I don't know.
Well, don't bring her here to Asheville.
Why not?
'Cause country girls flatten out under the city lights. Another round!
Really?
You had the lady.
Lady, please, not on a Friday night. All week long, I'm up to my elbows working away at my 9 to 5. I'm not gonna waste away at home hitting the town every Friday night. Pour me another round, pour me another round. Pour me another round. Woo!
Yeah! Yeah!
Have you tried a Ritz or a Greyhound? So many drinks in so little time. I decided it's only right I try them all and see what I like. Pour me another round, pour me another round. Pour me another round. Pour me another round, pour me another round. Pour me another round. Besides all that, I like a little buzz. In addition to that, I like a little high. I don't know anybody who doesn't like to feel good all of the time. Pour me, pour me, pour me, pour me another round. Pour me, pour me, pour me, pour me another round.
Muscadine wine, make me feel so fine.
I like hard liquor, it hits me quicker.
Muscadine wine, make me feel so fine. I like hard liquor, it hits me quicker.
Come on, Hayes, Chris!
Muscadine wine, it feels so fine. I like hard liquor, it hits me quicker. Shot of whiskey, got me feeling frisky.
How about a rum and Coca-Cola with the extra added bonus of a soda with a little kick?
How about a rum and Coca-Cola with the extra added bonus of a soda with a little kick?
Woo!
I was feeling lonesome and homesick, down, dejected, and dubious. I've discovered what does the trick. Bartender, give me some more of this.
Pour me another round.
Another round, pour me
another round.
Another round.
Pour me
Another round. Pour me another round. Pour another round. Pour me another round. Pour me another round.
Oh, I asked to see you, Mr. Caine, because Mr. Ames put your propinquity piece on my desk. He seems to think it's ready.
Ready?
We are publishing it next month.
You are?
We are.
Miss Murphy, would it be all right if I were to jump for joy?
You may. Is that the best you can do?
One more time.
Yahoo! Yahoo! Murphy.
Oh, thank you, Daryl.
Down, boy. Just reminding you have a train to catch.
You're leaving.
I am going to Raleigh on some long overdue personal business.
With a step in Zebulon to see family. Here are your tickets.
Miss Murphy, that train runs right through Hayes Creek. We could meet there and I could show you all the places I've been writing about.
I've done it for other writers. Mr. Ames, have Lucy put it on my itinerary.
Oh, she's going to be a little late today. She's under the weather.
Is that in quotes?
Oh, very.
I'm afraid that's my fault. I went to the Shiny Penny last night. Lucy and I had a bit of a flapdoodle.
You love to pull words out of your hat. I have the same habit.
I get that from my mother.
I get it from a desperate need for attention.
Well, I got a little bit of that too.
You started anything new?
I have, and I'm finding I'm writing more and more about home.
Mr. Caine, it would be easier to get Lincoln off the face of Mount Rushmore than to get home out of the heart of a Southern writer. I'll see you in Hayes Creek, and congratulations. Are these all the files from May 15th, 1924?
They are. The laws are changing this year. These records won't be open anymore. Would you like me to help you search again?
That would be so kind. The baby was wearing
I know, a blue sweater.
Maybe in one of the photos.
The photos are in black and white, Miss Murphy. Maybe she wasn't dropped off here in Raleigh. You should be trying some of the surrounding towns. Charlotte has an agency.
He was dropped off here. Kate, you remember anybody else checking for a baby left here on the same date?
Not that I recall. Should there be?
I would think so.
I know this may be very hard for you to hear, but maybe he just didn't care as much as you did.
If there's truth in this world, he cared. Somehow he would have come looking.
It's only been me behind this desk for the past 19 years.
And that's a puzzle I should have sorted out before.
Well, the sun does shine in Raleigh.
Hello, Jimmy Ray.
Alice. Young Alice.
Not so young.
Young forever in my memory.
This is your home. It's nice.
I've worked hard over the years.
Those your kids?
In a way. They're my sister's kids.
You married?
No, never married. Close, a couple times.
I guess I would have heard. I followed you.
I know you never married. I paid attention. You did well in Asheville. Took a few trips over there. Looked up your building, but never went in.
Why not?
You moved on. You published Carson McCullers, Eudora Welty.
You have been paying attention.
I always paid attention to you, Alice. If I didn't, I knew I was in trouble.
We were so young.
We were. And I wonder, often, was I old enough to behave differently? Better?
Yes. When I came to Raleigh today, it wasn't my intention to see you. I was at the Hall of Records with the same woman who has been there for 20 years, and I asked her if anybody else had looked for the whereabouts of our child, and she said not one. Not one person, not you.
I didn't.
And you never came to see me. Why?
Alice, is it better to hope or to know?
Please.
When my father died, we found out he was the one who funded your scholarship.
Why?
To get you out of town. Guilt, maybe?
Guilt?
Alice, on the train to Raleigh, somewhere in the night, my father took our son and threw him off the train into the river below.
I have been blinded. I can't see a thing. I have been blinded. Darkness fell on me.
I had a vision of how our life would be, rolling like a river, peaceful, wild and free. I had a vision of how our life would go, a happy little family playing on the porch. If I could lift this veil of darkness, if I could see my way back to you, I have been blinded. All the lights went dim, blinded by someone. I can't speak of him. I had a vision of how our life would be, full of love and laughter and sweet harmony. I had a vision of how our life would go, all of our kids singing while you played piano. If I could lift this veil of darkness, if I could see my way back to you, I had a vision of how our life would be,
Everything was beautiful, you were next to me. I had a vision how our life would go. Everything was wonderful, and I loved you so.
Oh, hi, Max. How can I help you?
Oh, I'm a little early. I was gonna walk Edna home after the bookstore closes.
Well, guess what? We just closed. May I help you? Well...
Are you happy to see me?
Well, for a rider, you're not really good at raiding people. What are you doing here?
Margo, you're the first person I wanted to tell. I'm gonna be published in the Asheville Southern Journal!
What? Woo! That is some damn news.
What
is it, Billy?
I think I'm seeing you in a new way.
What do you mean?
Margo, since I came back from the war, many things have changed in my life.
Well, of course.
And some things have remained constant. Family. This place, Hayes Creek. But one thing has been both constant and changing. And I wonder, how is that possible?
Well, anything's possible with people. What is it?
Us.
There's an us?
There is, if you want there to be.
I don't know. I just never thought of you that way.
We're supposed to be together, I know. I feel it way down deep in my soul. We're never meant to be apart. I keep you here inside of my heart. I always have, always will, always, always, always will. I always have, always will, always, always, always will.
We're supposed to be together, it's true. I've had my doubts, but not about you.
We're never meant to be apart. I love you now, I have from the start. I always have, always will, always, always, always will. I always have, always will, always, always, always will. Margo, I have a confession to make. While I was in Asheville, I kissed a girl.
Oh, well, what was it like?
Have you ever kissed a chicken?
Yes.
When's the last time I kissed you?
12 years, and that was on a dare. You ran like a rabbit.
Believe it or not, I'm shaking now like I was that day.
We're never meant to be apart. I love you now, I have from the start.
I always have, always will, always, always, always will.
We always have, always will, always, always, always will. Anybody home?
Well, child, just as promised.
We're almost the same age now.
I think I'm staying a bit ahead of you. It's so good to see you, darling. I wasn't sure if I was worth a visit anymore.
Oh, Daddy, how can you say that?
Oh. Through the years, reasonableness has laid its hand on my shoulder. Some of the things I've done in the past just don't quite hold up like they used to. Want a glass of water?
You got any of that hooch?
I do. So, how long can you stay?
Just one day.
One day. Darling, that's a short amount of time to say a lot.
Mama home?
She's at the neighbor's, but she'll be back. I'm glad to have you alone, though. I could talk to your mama, but not about some things.
Sounds like you've been banking words, Daddy.
Well, he got you right here. Them trees. Sometimes it's so quiet you can hear a leaf fall. You can tell the color of that leaf just by the crisp crack it makes as it lights on the ground.
I know that feeling. Sometimes I hear the fiddlers in town and I know they're playing the sound of the wind over the lakes back home. What sorts of things can't you talk to Mama about?
Certainly not about things that occurred 23 years ago.
No, not about things that occurred 23 years ago.
That had to be the hardest day of your life. It was, wasn't it?
Yes.
Well, if shame could ever equal pain, I'd say that I know how you feel. Because what I did that day, Alice, made it the most shameful day of my life.
Thank you, Daddy.
I think that's the last day my own daddy had a hold of me. How I felt after that helped me purge him from me. Oh, I'm not asking for your forgiveness, Alice.
Daddy, I forgive you.
No. I can't even forgive myself. I do wonder what happened to the boy. Do you know, Alice?
I do, Daddy. He was adopted by a family in California and raised with very much love, and he is educated and successful, and he's a fine young man.
That's what I wished for him all along.
Well, maybe your wishes made it so.
The sun is gonna shine again. The sun is gonna shine again.
Your daddy knows we're coming?
He sure does. Hey, Daddy! It's Billy. Put your pants on. There's a lady present.
Let me get them on. Hello there, son. I still salute you.
Daddy, this is Miss Murphy.
Oh, I know all about you. We're standing on the wrong side of the porch.
You want a knee-high?
Yes, thank you.
Miss Murphy, there's a barber shop up in Hayes Creek with your magazine stacked on the settee. We're readers here.
And Billy will be published in its next issue.
Well, I heard. Mary Lee would have been awfully pleased to know that.
Mary Lee?
That's my mother.
Hey, Billy, you got some clothes here, you know that? Good pants and some shirts. You ought to take them on over to your new place.
I could use them, Daddy.
There must be some wonderful stories about your wife, Mr. Caine. Maybe Billy should write about her.
Oh, I don't think so. Better to stick to the whole town with our array of cads and scoundrels.
Look at this. My old mail order plaid. It's still good. And my old fishing vest.
Let me get you something to put them in, Miss Murphy.
How do you like it here?
It's lovely, Billy. It reminds me of Zebulon in some ways. You must find wonderful repose here, Mr. Caine.
I do. Miss Murphy?
I'm sorry. Your wife must have died young. Billy's only 23.
Marilee died last year at 65. She had Billy late in life. That's a rarity around these parts where everyone's married and bearing kids before they can ride a bike. Billy, there's a box full of your things in the shed.
Oh, I don't want to take up Miss Murphy's time with all that. Look what I found. Pair of good boots. My old baby sweater. What is it?
I know this sweater. I know that suitcase.
How?
My life was born away from me in it.
You say you've seen this sweater before?
I made it.
I knew this day would come.
It's you that has a story, isn't it, Mr. Caine? It's you.
What are you two talking about, Daddy?
Billy, one evening I was out a frog gigging. I went a little farther down the river than I usually go. Now where are you, fat ones? Me and Marilee gonna have you for dinner. Oh, there you are, Mr. Toad. Damn it! You made me lose Mr. Ichabod P. Toad! I hear you. Over there? Somebody there? Anybody there? Oh, my Lord. Little Moses. Oh, little Moses in the rushes. Oh, good Lord. Bangs and bruises. You're in a heap of trouble, little fella. Well, come on. We gotta get you fixed up. If you come from the sky, then it's the Lord's will we raise you. And if you come from that train, then somebody didn't want you.
Familiar, I could feel you when you came through the door. So peculiar, like I knew you somewhere before. You're my baby, how can this be? You're my sweet baby, come back to me. So familiar, I could feel you here in my heart. So peculiar, like I knew you right from the start.
I'm sorry, Miss Murphy, but my mother is buried just beyond this cabin.
Billy! Billy!
The sky was darkening through years of night. I felt a door was opening to this gorgeous morning light. At last, at last, at last, at last, at long last, the answer to a mother's prayer, healing of my heart's despair, burden no longer to bear. At last, fountain in the square, filled with flashing coins, wishes in the water, oh, to find
Where is she? She's an hour and a half late. This is not like her.
She got a notice from the post office that there's a special delivery letter.
They can send a notice. Why can't they send a letter?
She went over there with Jimmy Ray to pick it up.
She's pretty cozy with Jimmy Ray.
He's pretty attractive, don't you think?
Lucy, I don't know how to judge whether or not a man's attractive.
Yes, you do.
Read the next line.
Oh, my Lord. This is the funniest thing I've ever read. Daryl, we have to print this in our humor column right away.
What is it?
It's a hilarious piece by a writer I've never even heard of, Lillian Jones.
Lillian Jones? Congratulations, Daryl!
What?
Lillian Jones is my new pen name.
Oh, good for you!
Miss Murphy, you have been on a tear lately.
You have. Miss Murphy, may I be frank?
It'll take a while to get used to calling you that, but sure.
What's come over you? I miss the dark lay of gloom you used to bring with you to work every day.
Oh, all right. Everyone's going to find out sooner or later. Years ago, I had a child.
Daryl, you owe me $5.
Well, I found out he's alive and well and raised by another family. He's a fine young man, and it turns out he works for me.
Works for? Oh my God, it's Daryl.
It's Billy.
When was the last time you talked to him?
The night he found out. A month now. And he hasn't written or called, but these things take time, don't you think?
I'm thinking of taking a trip just to lay eyes on him. I wouldn't know him if I saw him.
Hello.
Oh my God.
Hello.
Hello. Billy Caine.
Well, you're a handsome boy. Must take after your father that way. Reckon that'd be me.
Honored to meet you, sir.
Lucy, shall we go look for that, pencil box?
The missing pencil box? Yes.
Where could that pencil box be?
Miss Murphy, I came to apologize.
Billy, you don't have to apologize.
I do have to apologize. I was selfish. All I thought about was how I was hurt that night. But it was not just me, it was every one of us.
Oh, Billy.
So I went to the site of my real birth. A small cabin in the woods.
How did you find it?
Your father loves you very much. He led me to the cabin. He told me the story that awful night. How I was torn from your arms. And I understand that truth walks beside us like a shadow. One day it merges with us. But until it does, we are not truly whole.
Billy, you are no doubt your mother's son.
Lucy, I owe you an apology too. Perhaps I was a little misleading.
We can start over.
Hello, everyone. I'm Margo. I'm Billy's fiance.
Oh, Margo, you are? Well, thanks for letting me know.
Say, Alice, you thinking of heading to the wedding?
Well, of course I am. He's my son.
Well, not their wedding. Ours.
Lucy, put getting married on my calendar.
Now that's the Miss Murphy we know and love.
I have a vision of how our life will be, rolling like a river, peaceful, wild, and free.
I have a vision of how our life will go, all of our kids singing while you play piano.
And Lucy and I are getting married. We're not, but wouldn't that have been great?
Love, let me live this spell of darkness. Love, let me see my way back to you. I have a vision of how our life will be. Everything is beautiful, you are next to me. I have a vision for how our life will go. Everything is wonderful, and I loved you so. Love, let me live this veil of darkness. Love, let me see my way back to you. My way.